So my name is Firmino Mariano. I'm currently the Director of Budget at Aldine ISD, and I've been a Director of Budget there for a little over 6 months, but I've been in budget literally all my professional career. When you think about Aldine, you can think about a family, a place where you can go and really just find people that look like you, that look different than you, people that think like you, people that don't think like you. It's a big boiling pot. Like, we speak over 50 languages in the district, just as our student population. We have a lot of families moving out of the cities and going to the suburbs. So the districts around us are gaining students, but we're losing students because nobody's wanting to stay at the heart of the city. So when it comes to that, I have to do a lot of projections, looking at what the future might look like, not only now, but in 2, 3, 5 years ahead. So one of the ways that I was able to use Frontline to help me make better decisions when it came to that is just to be able to put together a report that pretty much would compare what we budgeted, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, and what was actually spent for each individual department in the district. And just looking at that and seeing, who all was leaving a lot of money on the table, people that were using more budget than was allocated, and we had to do a lot of budget amendment for those different areas of the district. So just putting together a report that was as comprehensive as that, and that would help me drill down to the nitty-gritty, and to just to see where it would be able to cut that budget without affecting their operations. So that's one of the projects that I was able to work on, and I was really happy. Before we used data analytics, it was a lot of manual work. It was a lot of looking back versus looking forward. Just relying on a lot of spreadsheets to do a lot of the manual work, collecting data from different people, not really being sure if we could even rely on that data 100%, because your conclusions are as good as the information you're putting in. And if you were to look at the time that we would spend just to do the data collection, not even to start to think ahead and prepare the budget, just collecting the data and the back and forth, it took a lot longer than it takes us now. I am able to do better projections now than I was ever able to do in the past, and that's really, really valuable, because this just kind of shows me, where I am right now, where I'm going to be 6 months. When it comes, for example, to PIC compliance, which is something that Texas districts are required to do, show our expenditures by program. I'm able to kind of look at my budget, look at what I'm forecasted to spend at the end of the year, and then make proper adjustments right now versus waiting until June, when it's too late and there's nothing I can do. One of the things that was really hard to calculate before I had Frontline Analytics was just our overtime, and also positions that are hourly positions, and it's really hard to calculate because it depends on how many hours they work. So with Frontline Analytics, I'm able to create dashboards that kind of give me a monthly just summary of how we're spending our money in those areas. And that's really, really useful, because every month I can kind of see if the rate of change, if people are now spending a little money faster than they're actually projected to, I can kind of anticipate what kind of results we're going to have in the end. Is there anything we can do? Is there anything that's happening that's causing this? As budget managers, we all know that we're supposed to monitor our budget. But in the past, a lot of the things that, just because of the priorities and things that would come up and things like that, monitoring was the hardest part of my job. We would create the budget, would plan, create the budget would get adopted, but the monitoring part was just always lacking. If you were monitoring your budget on a weekly basis, maybe it would take you a day of the week just to monitor your budget, but now I can do that in literally 5 to 10 minutes. And that just, I've gained a whole week, a whole day in a week, and that's just invaluable. It gives me the time that I need to really focus on the emerging leaders that are already in my department. It takes a lot of stress out of everybody, which improves retention. And I'm also able to just take more time to kind of hold the hands of our principals and to help them make better decisions for our kids, because that's who we're ultimately trying to educate.